Hey guys, it's Nicole with a Spooky Time podcast. And before I get into today's case, I'm just going to go ahead and give a content warning. I'm going to be pretty heated in this one just because it does involve a indigenous woman. And I'm just going to go ahead and jump in with the National Crime Information Center reported that in 2016, there was 5,712 reports of missing American Indian and Alaska Native women and girls through the U.S. Department of Justice's Federal Missing Person Database. Only 116 cases were logged. I don't know if you heard me, but out of 5,712 reports of missing women and girls that are Native or Indigenous, only 116 of those cases were logged. Murder is the third highest cause of death for Indigenous people. That is insane. We all know that the U.S. and the Native Indigenous people have not had a good relationship. You know, it is literally written in the past, but unfortunately it is still bleeding over to today. And I am not trying to victim shame or to pit, races against each other or I don't want to do anything like that. I want to keep everything respectful and factual, and this is just facts. They deserve more attention and more recognition than what they get. Minorities in general, not even just Indigenous people, deserve more attention in their cases. It should be standard practice. Every missing person should be treated equally, regardless. Alright, so today we are going to be covering the fairly recent and horrific case of Angela Lynn McConnell and her boyfriend, Michael Bingham, who were both murdered on September 7th, 2018. This case is still unsolved 5 years later. Angela Lynn McConnell was a 26-year-old Indigenous woman of the Hoopa tribe. She was from California, but she also had roots in the, don't come for me because this is going to be a rough one, Mojave, Karuk, and Yurok tribes as well. I tried my best, promise. Ange, that is the nickname that Angela was given, and she was always referred to as by it, so that's what I'm going to call her. Ange was loved and adored by her family, who she was super close to. Her mother, Tammy, only had one daughter, and that was Ange. She graduated from Hoopa Valley High School. Then she went on to take classes pursuing a degree in nursing. And ultimately, she decided she wanted to be a journalist and a creative writer. So she changed from nursing to journalism. Ange was a proficient writer, and she was distinguished at creating stories, writing poetry, but also had the visual art talent. All of which, personally, I'm horrible at. So, she was really doing the damn thing out here. She finished college and graduated. She was running her own Facebook group for her community. So, this woman, she would have made waves. And she would have made a huge impact had she gotten the chance to live longer than her 26 years. Angela's mother, Tammy Carpenter, received a call while she was at work. It forever changed her life for the worst. Angela and her boyfriend, Michael Bingham Jr., were both found brutally murdered. Michael's sister, Christina, was the one to have made the call. Emotionally devastated and stunned, Tammy's boss drove her to her home in Hoopa, nearly 2 hours from her place of work. That is a really good boss, though, and my boss, we all know, would do that. He would literally give his last penny, so we all love a good, supportive boss that'll be there when you really need them. There, Tammy gathered her family to drive over 2 more hours to Redding, near Shasta Lake, California. Angela and Michael had been found in what was reportedly, quote-unquote, a homeless or drifter camp. It seemed that they were staying in at the time. Nearly 20 Shasta County Sheriff deputies, investigators, and other personnel were dispatched to the scene around 12:15 p.m. on September 7th, 2018, to investigate the double homicide. Michael's father, Michael Bingham Sr., I'm just going to refer to them as Michael Jr., Michael Sr., to make it easier, who apparently lived very close to the camp, was reported to be the one who found his son and his son's girlfriend, Ange. Authorities say that he stated he was checking on them since they were in the woods when he discovered them. They were both found shot at close range in the head with a shotgun. Both of them. I don't know if you have ever seen the impact that a shotgun can do at a distance, but imagine being shot at close range in the head with a shotgun. The exit wound is probably about a 10-inch circumference. That's insane. Whoever did that wanted them dead, and to make sure that they were not going to survive that. After they arrived in Redding to the sheriff's office, Tammy tried to obtain any information that she could regarding the case, but she had no idea why Angela would be in that area. There were several officers in the parking lot she first approached who did not want to speak to her. After she insisted on someone being called to help her, a detective finally informed Tammy that Angela was already at the coroner's office. Later, when a detective did speak with Tammy, he showed no sensitivity to her loss and abruptly started to question if she knew Angela was on drugs and living like a homeless person. I'm so sorry. What? You just found a woman shot at close range with a shotgun, murdered, And that's what you're gonna ask her mother? Even after a 4-hour road trip? On top of just learning that her daughter was found like that? Bro. Okay, back to the story. She felt as if she and her family were being accused of the same things as well, and felt it necessary to point out they were educated, hardworking people. Honestly, this family seems really great. When the family requested to see her, they were not allowed in to see her, stating that there had been too much damage done to her, that she was unrecognizable. Which, that does track. And I have my cat, Stormy, in here with me, so if anybody hears a meow or a little bell, it's just her in the background. I'll try to cover that up. Alright. The sheriff's department had used Facebook and then eventually fingerprints to ID Angela, rather than having her family ID her. I'm sorry, but who uses Facebook to identify a murder victim? Like, in what country is that approved of? This is wild. Early on in the investigation, there seemed to be very few leads, if any. There was additional background information regarding the relationship between Angela and Michael Jr. Michael Jr. was an abusive partner to Angela, to the point at one time she had a restraining order out against him from the Hoopa Valley Tribal Council. Unfortunately, that didn't seem to last though, as it rarely ever does while in an abusive relationship. Angela was staying hours away from her family, about 2 hours, when she stayed with Michael. In addition, the circumstances that Michael's father found them under was a bit odd. An incident shared with Angela's family 1 week before the murders. There was an altercation between Michael and his father, who had been said to have pulled a gun on them. No other details are available about that incident. I searched, could not find it. Tammy was told that Michael had been a long-time heavy drug user, and that Angela had begun to use them to some degree as well, leaving the option open of it being a drug-related homicide. I don't think that was ever it, but okay. Alright. Although it has never been confirmed, the family believes in a lack of evidence. The crime scene was never roped off or closed. This allowed anyone to access the crime scene. Let me just backtrack. They didn't rope off the crime scene of a double homicide. That is literally step one before anything else is done, is secure the crime scene. What? This is just one detail that seems to be in line with the lack of attention to indigenous cases by law enforcement officers. But it is known that the Shasta County Sheriff's Office is understaffed, and this could have contributed to difficulties for investigations. But, if they couldn't handle it on their own, they should have reached out to state, federal, some other form of agency to help them with this case. But they didn't. In the first year following the murders, there had been 3 different investigators, but very few leads. And again, because law enforcement officers had such little and unsteady communication with the family, it continued to make them feel like it was just another dead Indigenous girl to add to the statistics. Alright, so where things are today. Angela's family and friends have held or attended several events to honor Angela's murder and all of the missing and murdered Indigenous women and people in an effort to keep Ange and others in the public eye. As of 2021, approximately 83%, I'm going to just repeat that one more time, 83% of Indigenous women see violence in their lifetime. About 1/2 of Indigenous victims in Northern California experience domestic violence at some point in their lives. And only approximately 9% of murders against Indigenous women in California are solved. Okay, that one went pretty fast because it is still unsolved. And there was such a mishandling of this case that it's just really unfortunate, and it's sad that they didn't get near as much, anything. This case has been unsolved. It's